Good morning. Welcome to class. My name is Tyler Pronte. This is Econ 1 at Valley College for our fall 2020 semester. So were we meeting face-to-face? We would be in class sort of doing introductory get-to-know-you stuff here at the beginning of the semester, and I put together this little video here to do my best to simulate that. So really what I want to do is introduce myself, right? Give you an idea of who I am and where I'm coming from. And then also talk about how the class is going to work, right? I'm sure you have a lot of questions, and I'll do my best in this video to kind of predict those and answer them. All right, so first up, let me tell you about me, who I am. As I said, my name is Tyler Pronte. I've been teaching at Valley College now this is my 10th year. I teach Econ 1 and Econ 2 every single semester. So I've taught these classes a whole bunch. They're some of my favorite to teach. I also teach a class called Econ 10. And I saw some of you guys, I saw you last semester in Econ 10. That's U.S. Economic History. So check that one out as well. In addition to teaching all the time, that's the biggest part of my job. I also work as the department chair here for economics and philosophy and religious studies. So I do that stuff a little bit. Let's see here. In terms of personal stuff, my interests outside of class, probably one of the biggest ones that I have is to travel. I love to go on little mini adventures and vacations with my family. We go to national parks just about every year. And so we've been doing that every spring break. That's one of the things that I enjoy the most. My favorite one was Sequoia National Park. I've been going to all the ones that are near Southern California. I'm quickly running out of those parks, so I'm on the hunt for some more. Let me know if you have some good recommendations. In addition to traveling and going on little adventures, another big interest that I have is riding my bike. I think a lot of students remember this. I'm crazy about riding my bike. I ride a mountain bike. I ride a road bike. I watch people ride bikes. It's my favorite thing. I love it. Yeah. What else? In terms of my background, you guys know I work at Valley College. Before that, I taught at a school called Central Washington University. This is a long time ago now, but I enjoyed it. I discovered it was really a little bit too far from my home here in Southern California and wanted to come back to SoCal, and so here I am at Valley College. Before that, in terms of where I went to school and things like that, straight out of high school, I went to Grossmont College. That's a community college in San Diego, where I'm from. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I'm attracted to this job here at Valley College, is that I was a community college student as well. And so I went there, then I went to San Diego State for a couple of years, and then I finished school at the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque and got my PhD in economics there. All right, so that's some stuff about me. Let's talk then about the administration of the class. How is this going to work? So first up, one of the terms, there's some terms that are going around right now that you might not be aware of or might not understand. All the classes at Valley College and everywhere, of course, are being offered remotely. We're not going to meet in person in class. Some of them are being offered, they call it synchronously. Others are asynchronously. All right. So all the classes at Valley are going to fit into one of these two descriptions. The classes that are synchronous, these are classes where you'll have a regular scheduled Zoom meeting where you need to show up on X day at X time, and then there's a conference and so on. Right? Those are synchronous classes. Asynchronous classes are more like a traditional online class where you're going to be doing work in Canvas, but it's on your own time and to some degree your own pace, right? There are not regularly scheduled meetings. This class then is an asynchronous class. What that means is that we're not going to be meeting on a regular schedule, holding Zoom conferences. I'm sure you guys are disappointed. But instead, I've laid out a whole bunch of assignments and readings and videos for you to take on, read, and work on your own time. Okay. So that's the general structure of the class. All of the information that you need to know about how things work here in this class, I've put in something I call the Getting Started module. Okay? You're in the right place. If you're watching this video, you've already found the Getting Started module, but you'll see within there's a whole bunch of headings. Read those, right? It's going to have information on the syllabus, the textbook, the homework, frequently asked questions, grading, everything, right? So check out that Getting Started module. That's the best place to start. One of the things that you really want to take from that first module is the book, right? The textbook is going to be really key for all classes, but this one especially, given that we're not going to be lecturing regularly. Right? The textbook for this class looks like this. Okay, Principles of Microeconomics. Note the author here, N. Gregory Mankiw. The edition that I have here in my hands is the 8th edition. That's a good one. Slightly older editions are okay as well. Right? This book, if you buy this thing brand new from the Valley College bookstore or something like that, is going to cost you. It's an expensive one. You don't need to do that though. You can get a used copy. You can get an older copy. You can get an ebook version. All of those things are okay by me. I wouldn't recommend going too far back, so don't get like the 3rd edition or something like that. But as long as it's reasonably close to the 8th edition, you'll be in good shape. What else? Sometimes people ask about, they have some other book, something like, I don't know, something like this one, right? This says economics. Don't get that, right? The key things that you want to look for is that it has the same author and that your content is on principles of microeconomics and not principles of macroeconomics. You're welcome to email if you are stuck on that and have a question, but those are the key things to look for. All right. So let's see here. Office hours. I am going to hold regularly scheduled office hours for you guys. I haven't decided yet at the time of filming this video here, the exact time and day, but click on the office hours link there in the Getting Started module, and I'll put a Zoom link in there for when I'll be holding those office hours, and you can just click on that and then pop in, and then we can have a little conversation via Zoom if you ever have questions and want to talk. So check that out. You're also welcome to email me, of course. I check my email every single day, and so I'll get it for sure. You can find that email in the syllabus. You can also message me directly right there in Canvas. That's a good way to get in touch if you need to. All right. What else? Let me talk a bit about the general organization of the class. All right. As you scroll down there on our homepage, you're going to see that I've got all the information for the class presented in a series of modules, right? A lot of professors do this. Think of these modules as being like little units that we're going to have of the material here for the class. They're all going to take the same general pattern, okay? Each module is going to get started with a reading assignment, and this is key, right? You're going to want to begin by completing the assigned reading, right? Once you're done with that, I recommend that you move on. You'll find a series of little YouTube videos that I have put together talking about some of the content, going over some of the ideas that you need to know about. So check out those YouTube videos. I've started this process as well of working on some of the practice problems from the book. That's a great way to get yourself ready for other assignments. Take a look at one of those practice problems, work it out, and see if it comes easy to you or if you've got some questions. You'll find some videos in there where I have done that. And so you can then work the problem on your own and then see how that compares with the work that I did. That's a good way to go. Okay. all those things that I've mentioned so far, the reading, the videos, the practice problems, right? Those are things that you should do on your own, but they're not for points, right? I'm not going to follow up and make sure that you're reading. That's up to you. Once you've done those, though, you should begin then on those assignments that are associated with points, right? And there's some of those within each module. First, there's going to be homework assignments. The homework assignments for the class are conducted through a program called Sapling Learning, right? This is a website that I've used for a number of years now, where they've got a whole bunch of good practice problems for people. Sapling is a program that exists outside of Canvas. And so you'll need to log into that separately. I'll see those scores as well when I log into Sapling, but you'll do those Sapling homework assignments outside of Canvas. Make sure you get started on those. So there's no surprises. I want you guys to know that there's a cost associated with Sapling. I believe it costs $42. So take note of that. All right, once you're done with the Sapling Learning assignment, the next thing that you're going to want to do for points is to take the end of module quiz. There's 10 of these throughout the semester. They're going to be, like I said, done within Canvas. You'll take the quiz right there on the computer. It's going to have multiple choice questions based on vocabulary, based on calculations, based on working with graphs, things like that. Really good advice that I can give you before doing these quizzes is to make sure that you've done sufficient prep work before sitting down for it. It's not the sort of quiz where you want to just open it up and just give it a shot. You get one shot for each one. They're timed. So really you need to be ready to go before taking those quizzes. And then if you are, they're manageable. Okay, so let's see here. We've talked about reading, Sapling homework, the quizzes. What else? There's going to be midterms. We have 2 of them this semester. The first one covers the first 5 modules. It works just like the quizzes, except it is longer because it's got 5 chapters worth instead of 1. We've got 1 midterm on the first 5 modules, a second midterm on those second 5 modules. Right? So those midterms are worth a lot of points. That's a good way to pull up your grade if you had a bad score on a quiz along the way. There is a final exam that we'll have come December at the very end of the class, set up in a similar way as those quizzes and midterms that you'll be used to, but cumulative. Those are the major assignments. There are a couple other smaller ones that are a good way to boost up your grade and get some good points. First, there's discussions, right? We'll have 4 throughout the semester. The first one is already posted, wherein I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself to the class, right? So click on that. That's a really good way to get yourself going on the right foot and get some good points. So we'll have that first one that's due this week, and then beyond that, later in the semester, there'll be 3 more coming. So there's discussions. We're going to do those. And then last but not least, 3 times throughout the semester, we have these assignments that I call Comprehension Checks. The Comprehension Check is like a 1-question quiz where really quickly I'm going to ask you just 1 question. Oftentimes it's a short answer type question where you're going to explain what you're doing. And I think these are worth 10 points. So not a lot of points, but it's just a good way for me to check in and evaluate learning in a different way than I'm doing with some of the other assignments. So those are all the assignments. You can see them in detail in the syllabus. But yeah, that's the general pattern then of the class. Let's see, what else? Due dates. All right. The due dates are found in a lot of places. I think the easiest way to summarize all of them, though, is to click on the calendar link that you'll see on the home page there in Canvas. That's going to show you right there. It's got a calendar, and included on it are the due dates for all of the assignments. So that way you can kind of plan ahead a little bit and see what's coming up. So that's a really useful feature. Check that out. You'll notice there's a pattern, right? I've tried to organize this for you guys and for me to help keep track of things. I've set it up so that we have things due on Wednesday and Thursday every week, right? Sometimes bigger things, sometimes smaller things, but you're going to have something to turn in on Wednesday and Thursday. Obviously, you don't want to leave it till those days to do the work, but that having a similar day each week when we have that work due helps give some structure, and so that's the reason why I've done that. Let's see here. Anything else that I need to address? I think that's it, guys. I can't think of anything. I'll put something in the announcements page if something else comes to mind. But again, I want to welcome you guys to class. I'm looking forward to getting to know you as best I can and seeing what you guys have to say in that first discussion post. So welcome to class. See you guys in the next one. Bye.